tell you, this is a whole mess, okay? Not just the episode, but the heat and the lighting. So I'm sorry if you hear my fan, because maybe I don't have central air and heating. Your girl Talisa Rae. What's up? How you doing? Ray of Sunshines. We are reviewing Married at First Sight season number 9, episode number 7. Where is my husband? Honey, the moment we have to start talking about where is my husband? Where is my husband? Honey, you are in trouble, okay? I'm just gonna be honest with you. The moment we asking and he ain't responding and you ain't find out he dead in a ditch somewhere, child, let me tell you. Anyway, let's just get right on into this episode. Whew, it's getting hot. All of them were really good this time, wasn't they? So, Keith and Iris. Let's just talk about Keith and Iris. We see them wake up in the morning. You know, she's making breakfast, and it's not like a little simple breakfast, little eggs and bacon, little grits, little toast. No, baby, it look like it's waffles or pancakes, honey. Is it home fries? Let me tell you, blueberry muffins. Let me tell you, Iris could be my wife just for breakfast though, cause she a little too extreme, too sporadic, too erratic for my spirit myself. I do like a man. So let's just get that clear, okay? Furthermore though, I love a praying man. And when Keith just did the little blessing over the food, like just a little Lord, thank you for the food we about to receive, let it be nourishment for our body. Let me tell you something. That just moved my soul, because that meant that you knew that it was important that we bless and we be grateful to God for the food. Like, I don't know. A praying man just does something to me anyway. I'm going to be honest with you. Future husband, you should be a praying man. We find out that Keith's grandmother was in the hospital. Now, we knew she was sick, but I don't think I remember her having cancer. That she was in the hospital, that she's not doing so well, that she's back home. And he was like, offered and invited her to come be with his family during this time while grandma must really be sick. And I thought, how big is that? Like, I don't know you very well, but we're married, and I'm gonna bring you along with me, with my family, be vulnerable, because I'm extremely close to my grandmother. It means a lot to me, so I'm gonna have you come with me for some support. I was like, oh, she in. She in, because listen, I don't know if at Married at First Sight, if my grandmother had been sick and stuff, if I would have been like, you could come, I probably would have been like, I'm sorry, no, thank you. Because number one, my family is crazy like that. They would have been like, why you bring him? You know, and I also wanted to say, for her to be a virgin, she is very sexual. You know what I'm saying? So we know that she's done other things, but I mean, like, her body language and everything is very sexual. You know, I really feel like it's not enough light. So I'll be right back. How's that? That's a little better? I remember when I was a virgin many years ago. I don't remember being so like touchy-feely and so throw my leg up on him and so constantly rubbing. Like, and then of course I was lost my virginity when I was in my teens, right? So, but still, I don't even think as an adult after I lost my virginity, like 2021 up in there, was I that sensual. I might have been, because I had a baby. Anyway, they're gonna go to church together. I hope we get to see how that turns out. Her friend Justine invited them to church, and he's willing to go. I mean, he was born and raised in a church, so he knows how to conduct himself. And if he doesn't, you just, when in Rome, do what the Romans do until you know what to do, until you build your own relationship. But it looks like he's got, I'm saying he's got a relationship with God. I want to say my favorite thing about this couple is that the prayer life that they have. I mean, you know, she seems to be doing the majority of the praying and the leading in prayer. I would really like to see him do more of it. Do you remember when they first got married and they showed that? She did the prayer. When they went to bed, she did the prayer. So I really would like to see him step up and be more of the head of household, more of the lead when it comes to their relationship. Y'all can be looking at me sideways, but because I know the hierarchy of a marriage as it relates to a believer, God, man, wife, child. If yours is God, Christ, husband, wife, child, it's the same concept. Higher power, husband, wife, children. And so because I know that from a spiritual place, and that's where they're coming from, I really want to see him step up and lead in that manner. Okay? When we see them visit his parents' house where his grandmother is, they out in the country or something somewhere. But when I tell you, I'm moved by the fact that she is an empath, like, and is really connected to him and his family, that she is affected by his grandmother, where she's supposed to be there for encouragement and support. She's unable to hold herself together. But then again, we don't know how ill, and just being in that environment, in that solemn environment, knowing that the family is praying either for a smooth transition because they know this is the end, or praying for her healing, or whatever they're praying for, it is a very emotionally charged situation. So I take my hats off to Iris for that. So we see the family and friends visit. Now this is when things get a little crazy, because we really know Iris is already crazy, but this is when she shows her crazy, okay? I was like, when she was making like the hors d'oeuvres or appetizers or whatever for the friends that come over, I was looking like, okay, she's more anal retentive than I thought. But then I'm thinking, why didn't I think that? Like, everything has to be just so. And I be thinking to myself, why isn't any of her friends saying that it's a bit much? Calm down, relax, take a deep breath. She did invite her mom, Miss Renee, who didn't stay long, but I also like the fact that Miss Renee said, I've been in contact with your mom, I'm praying for her, and I let her know that if there's anything she needs from me, I am able, willing, and available to assist. Like, I love that, because honestly, the in-laws normally don't, like the moms don't normally cook like that. I mean, let me just tell you the truth. My mom and my mother-in-law, they tolerated each other, but I don't see them like calling and checking on each other. I'm gonna be honest. Now, my mother is a lot younger than my late husband's mom. Nonetheless, they did not have that relationship. And I guess it depends on the people. How about you? Are you married? And if you are, do your parents and your husband's parents keep in touch? Do they have a really good working relationship? It wouldn't be working, but a relationship. Furthermore, 9 times out of 10, we don't have good relationships with our mother-in-laws. Child, we gonna have, that's another day. That's a conversation for another day. So when everybody is in there and they're talking, I want to say that one of Iris's friends put her on the spot, like, how's married life? And she got to giggling, kiki. Keith was like, well, I don't see what's funny. Answer the question. How is married life? Tell your friends. Like, what's so child? Then I was like, oh, you talk too much and your friends are spilling the beans, especially when they were like, oh, so tell us what happened about the ring. First off, that whole circle, our business is our business. I really believe that. I heard Steve Harvey say that once, and that's one of the things. There are 2 things that he said, maybe 3 things that he said that I've agreed with, and that is one of them. You hold hands, and that's a circle, and so whatever your business is should be like that current and roll between the 2 of you. Outside forces are going to have effect on your relationship, because being so young, you don't really have like a good grasp of how your relationship is going. I mean, or where it should go, and other people can influence you easily because you're not really as solid as you can. Not that everybody is like that, but a lot of people aren't as solid. So she needs to be real careful about what she's sharing. And sharing something that's insignificant, it's him losing his ring and then finding it again, and her being so upset, to me is indicative of her maturity level. It's not something to be sharing, because we know that she was upset about it, to the point where Keith, when he told the story, he was like, I'm all like, why are you so loud? What you yelling for? Like, calm the fuck down. Like, that's exactly how it came across to me, to you, and we feel like she needs to calm down. So here's the thing. We see the friends, the brothers, everybody getting along really well. They had the most visitors in their house. And what we see is the friends go get some lemonade, pour the lemonade, drink the lemonade. She was upset about them drinking the lemonade because she specifically bought stuff designated for the party. Like, don't go in my refrigerator. It's disrespectful. There are boundaries to our marriage and they aren't respecting them. Now, she didn't say that out loud, but her whole attitude changed and she said it out aloud. Not only that, she had the nerve to tell people they had a 2-drink minimum. Or not minimum, a 2-drink maximum. Nobody can have more than 2 drinks. Listen, she's so fucking extreme. I was just too through. At this point, I was like, Keith need a new wife. Because throw Iris away. I know that's horrible, but that's how she made me feel because I felt like that is so insignificant. The fact that you have 2 people, the 2 of you are coming together as one, you don't know how his household may have been ran. I know my girlfriends can come over here anytime, and when they come, they can open the refrigerator and look and see what's in there. For that matter, any of my homeboys that come over are welcome to open up the refrigerator, look and get them something to drink. There's no boundary on that. And like he said, it's replaceable. And he went ahead and said to her later, listen, that's what they did in my house and that's what they could do now. Is that something you can move past? Because she's all like, oh no, my friends would never. Keith gave us some very profound insight. He said that she's an only child and she's never had to share anything with anybody, probably up until this point. Even though she's had roommates, that is a different dynamic. You know, when you have a roommate, you be like, this is yours, don't touch my shit. Like, that's just how that is in a roommate situation. And I don't know, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm just too lenient with my friends by allowing them to go into my refrigerator and get them something to drink if they're a little parched. Maybe because my friends come over and they have stuff and they bring stuff and they leave stuff. Maybe because we've been friends for a long time. Even my new friends, you come over, help yourself. After the first time you here, you're no longer a guest. And that's how I feel when I think about Keith. The people that he loves and the people that he's calling friends are no longer guests. So when you're no longer guests, guess what? You owe help yourself to stuff. I don't know, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping and y'all see it the way she does. I do, like I said, I always like the way he handles her. He is like cool as a cucumber. He is not affected by any of her antics. And I'm also like, she's hella controlling. Don't touch the lemonade. Y'all can only have a 2-drink maximum. Don't sit this way on the bed. Everything's got to be this way or just so. Like, I'm really feeling like she's a bit controlling and that is a bit much for anybody. I'm watching and it's a bit much for me. Let's go to who has now become my favorite couple, Deonna and Greg. I know, before I didn't think that she was for him. Before I was like, she's too cold and he's not aggressive. But now I'm all like, they are warming up to each other very nicely. So I do see Sandy has warmed up quite a bit to Greg. And he makes mention that she's just like Deonna, has to warm up to him. And he's going to get her to like him. And he wishes that... you know, his wife would, or that his wife is exactly like her owner. Well, you know how they say they pick up your characteristics and your traits. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, babe. Honey, I loved how she walked in the house with a cookie cake that said happy birthday, Hubs. To me, that is a sign of affection. That is her showing like, I am trying, I am opening up, I thought about you. And for him to say, I didn't think that she would remember my birthday. We've only known each other for 2 weeks. She made it a point to say, it's my husband's birthday. I'm going to get him something nice. I'm going to think of him. So she may not be as cold and as heartless as we think. Like, she keeps showing us glimpses of who she is. And I'm really liking the girl more and more and more. Like, we see she's got a good head on her shoulder. Let me get back to what was going on. They're sitting on the couch and Deonna is like flourishing. I don't know, volcanoing, showering Sandy with compliments. Oh, you're such a beautiful girl. Oh, you're so beautiful. Who's a good girl? And Greg is like, Sandy gets a lot of compliments. I'd like some compliments too. I can't remember which one of you it was, but you hit the nail on the head and you said something to the effect of, compliments are only shown when you actually like somebody. And so her not giving compliments, not shown, compliments are only received normally when you like somebody, and her not receiving them says she's not attracted to him. Then I agree. Now we start starting to change. But what you said was profound, because now she does need to start giving him some compliments. The way she oogled over old Sandy, she needs to give some of that to her husband. Oh, you dress so nice. Oh, your voice is, oh, you know, your voice is very sultry, very sexy. I love the way those jeans or pants fit on you. Oh, I love the way you treat me. Like, I love your patience with me. Like, all of that is a big deal to me. Like, I really think she needs to figure out how to start complimenting him so that he feels more wanted. During this same time, though, she opens up and she says, okay, so I like my husband. I mean, I really like my husband. Big step. He was like, oh, like you like me, like you're sexually attracted to me. Honey, that was a lot for him. You know, men are very sexual. They're very visual. They're very sexual. So it is important for her to be sexually attracted to her husband. And so she's warming up to him and she's seeing all these great things about him. Who was it that said it last week? Same person that said about the compliments. She started liking him and was more attracted to him when she saw that house. Honey, I can't agree with you more. Once she saw what he was really offering and what kind of man they set him up with, they set them up for success. I'm not sure about everybody else, but I am definitely sure that the two of them have been set up for success. And that they're going to make it. Like, I'm really pulling for them to make it. And we need to do some predictions at the end based on, up until now, episode 7, who is going to be together, okay? I actually love how he articulates himself. Like, I love their communication. They've got that C down pat. Not only do they have the communication, they've got the compromise together. Right in this conversation when he says, you know, so since you're, you know, you really like me and you're more attracted to me, you're sexually attracted to me, do you think that there is levels to our intimacy? Do you think that we can go from just pecking to maybe real open mouth, at least parted kiss, like maybe a little rub my hair? You could see where she wanted to touch his head and wanted to caress him, but pulled back on one of them segments of this episode. And I like that he's able to articulate his needs. That is so fucking important to me. Not only that, I am so excited that Deonna compromised when she was like, you know what, I will try and open up more and make it level. She said, because it's always been situationships. It would go from one thing to sex really quickly, and then I move backwards and want a relationship, and that's how I end up hurting myself. Like, I'm glad she took accountability for that, but I don't know how many of you could relate to what she was saying. Like, I could relate to her 100%. That whole situationship is a thing. That whole doing that shit backwards, we have sex, we fuck, whatever it is, and it's something continuous, and now I want to go backwards and make it a relationship. Like, it's a thing, and I totally understood where she was coming from when she said that. I also understood where she was like, I'm trying to do something different. I want to try something different. So I was glad. I was here for it. Y'all, were you here for it? Deonna come through. And I was like how he asked her the question about, so do you think you're allowing your past relationships to affect our current relationship? How many men, you know, ask them kind of questions? Like, he's a good guy. Listen, Deonna, if you don't want him, Greg, if y'all broke up, hit me up. Email me. I am Talisa Rae at Gmail. Listen, I'm a little older, but listen, I'm perfect for you. Y'all, I'm kidding. Or am I? So I'm really glad to see that they have that commitment. I mean, that compromise and that communication. The first 2 C's, or whichever 2 C's together. Let's look at the commitment. Well, they've committed to each other because they're married. So maybe they got all 3's. Now we need to consummate. Let's add a new C. I hope he gets him some, because he was very moved by the fact that she put something together. They were in the community center. She gave him a little birthday party where both sets of friends came together, and she got to see how well he interacted with her friends, how well he interacted with her friends. You know what I'm saying? And she was actually really turned on by it, to the point where she was like, I'm not opposed to if something would happen intimately. I would not be opposed to it. So he may have to go ahead and just step his game up and not be afraid, but I'm happy he's respecting her boundaries. He was talking to his friends though, and Greg was like, and he told them like, oh yeah, so she hasn't been in a relationship for 10 years. She's not used to compliments. And we've had no physical contact. They were looking like, what the fuck? Like, What kind of shit that you done got yourself into? Oh, I'm afraid for you, brother. But on the other side, Deonna is saying how she's opening up. Her friends are like, oh my God, we see a change in her. Actually, we can see the change. She does look like she's glowing. She's smiling. She's more open. Like, I'm here for it, Deonna. Come on, girl. I'm pulling for you. My little heart. I got a little tear. Like, I'm really pulling for you to be happy. You deserve to be happy. You deserve every good thing God has for you. I mean, you too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm excited. I'm excited. Oh, this is when she was kind of getting ready to touch his head, but had backed up off it because they had been drinking. You could see that he was a little inebriated and she was feeling good. And she went to touch his head, but kind of changed her mind. Did y'all catch that? Had she touched his head and rubbed his hair, that would have made him... That would have increased their intimacy, and they probably would have did it. I don't know. They closed that door, though. I can't wait till next week. Listen, both Matt and Amber and Jamie and Lizzie, honey, both were very toxic and tumultuous this episode. But we gonna go ahead and go with Jamie and Lizzie because I was like, really? We calling poop and glittering? How we calling shit and glittering? Listen, call it the number 2. Say I gotta go to the bathroom, my stomach hurt. Why it gotta be called glittering? Y'all got 2 bathrooms. You don't necessarily have to be in there, but I don't know how many of y'all, you know, married, been in love for real. You will go into the bathroom while your partner is shitting. They will come in there while you're in the shower. They will want you to come in there and stand in the doorway and talk to them while they shitting. Like, when you in a real relationship, when shit really gets real, that's what happens. I mean, am I the only one that knows that? I can't possibly be the only one that knows that. I mean, I am an adult. I am grown, but still, I done been through some shit. Y'all let me know down below in the comments. Am I being unrealistic? It's not glittering. Wait till you in there and he's shitting and he like, babe, come here. Babe, come here. And you gonna be like, light a match, spray something, turn the candle on. Y'all, anyway, let me get over that. I was irritated by glitter. I did like that she went ahead and told him I like flowers. I mean, I love flowers myself, and men don't normally ask you if you like flowers. A lot of men think that flowers are a waste, but I love flowers, and a man that would buy me flowers just shows me they appreciate the beautiful things in life. Like, flowers are something God has given us that is beautiful, and I don't know, they make me feel a certain way. They lift my mood. Buy me flowers, future husband. Buy me flowers, future boo. Buy me flowers. I like flowers. So they've decided to have a brunch where they invite both of their parents, and Jamie is nervous, as she should be, because you remember how Liz's dad was with him. Like he can't have her heart. Like, weird. I like what she said. Yeah, you gotta take your shoes off. You leave your shoes and your worries at the door. Like, she is definitely a free spirit, which I love a free spirit. I am a free spirit, but I am a rational free spirit. Because she's a little irrational. And I like to use the word erratic. Like, erratic. Not erotic, but she is erotic too. Erratic. E-R-A-C-T-I-C. Did I spell that right? Erratic. E-R-A-T-I-C. Erratic. E-R-A-T-I-C. Child. That's like when we be like, okay, Google, spell erratic. I did like how they start making light of the consummation of the wedding, and it did make her parents uncomfortable. Specifically her father, and I'm sure, I don't know if my dad would be uncomfortable. My dad wouldn't be uncomfortable. No. But we get some real life insight, some realizations that happen when Jamie's parents ask what she does. And she says she works for her dad. I'm all like, I didn't know she worked for her dad. And not only does she work for her dad, she hasn't even started yet. And she starts a week from. So you are 20 some odd years old and your parents haven't taken care of you, or have you had other jobs? Or somebody explain that to me. Later on, okay, let me not get ahead of myself, but I was with Jamie on a lot of things that he said a little later. What's funny is Jamie's mom was like, Elizabeth is a free spirit, and I really don't think that this is going to work out. His mother has no faith in that relationship, but you know, opposites really do attract. Shit happens with opposites, so we could all be wrong, because I'm predicting they ain't going to make it too. So they do ask about babies and whatnot, and they of course already are in agreement that they don't want children, and so they answer it in a way that it doesn't alarm people, but they do know that your family just watched this episode, and so they have just realized that y'all ain't gonna never get them no grandchildren. Child, let me tell you something. Heartbreaking for the grandparents. So when they leave and they say, oh, things are going well, and they start sitting and have a conversation, Lizzie starts asking questions like, how long have your stepmom and dad been married, and why did your parents get a divorce, and how long have they been divorced? And he is visibly uncomfortable by her line of questioning. In his confessional, he says, she already knows how I feel about it, and she knows what it is, so I don't know why she's asking. Well, if she already knows, then it shouldn't be fucking uncomfortable, Jamie. And the sad part is, because you were uncomfortable and you didn't know how to react and you didn't know how to respond after she said, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was a big deal. Instead, you decide to say, I got some questions too. I don't know what to tell people when they ask me what you do for a living. And knowing that you work for your dad, you said you were a senior sales executive or whatever, but you don't. You haven't even started. Like, he started going in on her and lashing out on her. However, I just was like, it's too much. He started talking about, so you're okay with your dad giving you a job? You're okay with nepotism? You know, just like kind of berating her. And I didn't like that at all. Like, I'm with him about, okay, so this is a handout, but you didn't have to say it like that. And once you got your point across, you didn't have to keep honing in on that shit. Like, this is your wife. Like, and this is your new wife. Like, this is your wife, and y'all only been married for 2 weeks. Like, you couldn't find a better way to go about this shit. Like, I was really disappointed in him here. But when he returns later, he brings her flowers, right? And he says, so I listened to you, because he felt bad because he left the house, right? Because he didn't want to put up with shit. He felt bad. I listened to you, so I want you to listen to me. And so she's all like, oh boy. Now what I've realized is she does not handle confrontation well. And actually, he did very well in communicating his thoughts to her. He was pretty much saying, I don't want to constantly feel like I have to reassure you that I want to be here. Like, you seem insecure. All your comments are you gonna leave me? Do you want to leave me? Are you not happy? Like, those are your insecurities that probably have come from past relationships, but I don't want you to hold me to that, because I constantly tell you that I want to be here. And I thought he's doing pretty well. I'm glad that he walked away. He's communicating himself really well. And then she gets upset. She thinks it's funny. She laughs, but that's really a laugh out of nervousness because she doesn't really know what to say or how to react. But because she doesn't know what to say and doesn't know how to communicate and articulate her feelings and thoughts, she gets upset. She starts saying she's anxious because she's exposed. Like, your true emotions are exposed, and instead of you saying you're right, you know, I do have a few insecurities, and this is why people have left me, because I'm over the top, I've got too much energy, blah 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 blah. Like, go down the line of what you know to be your issue. That's why it's so important to do self-evaluation, to have an introspective look at yourself, because if I don't know me and what's bothering me, how do I expect to spend my life with someone else? How do I expect to invite somebody in if I can't handle my own issues and articulate what bothers me? Like, it's important for us to know us. And that's how come she's like all like, because she knows that she's got insecurities, but she doesn't know how to articulate where they came from or how to get around them, because she hasn't done an in-depth look of self-evaluation. If you've been rocking with me for real for a long time, you know I'm big on self-eval, okay? Then all of a sudden, she's all like, all you want to do is talk, right? And break down a relationship, have a therapy session. And he's all like, be accountable, Liz. And I'm all like, okay, that's right. Tell her to be accountable. I'm looking like, okay, what are you talking about? Talk. And then all of a sudden she gets mad because he gets up and he says, I can't do this. Because it ends up being about this like sex intimacy thing, and are you a sex addict, and we've done it at least 5 times, and I guess he wants to do it every day. It's his new wife and shit. Be glad that your pussy is good and that he wants to fuck you. Like, what? Anyway, so they start having this it gets heated and he gets up and he leaves, and she's all like, all you do is want to run away. Run away, Jamie. Go away. Walk away. Get out. Get out. Get your things. Get out. And I'm all like, you are so fucking confusing, because he was sitting there articulating, communicating with you what his needs and desires from you were. And now that he is doing it, now you're telling him, because he has to leave because you're not receiving it, oh, you can't handle it. You always walk away. You know, you want to have a therapy session. I just want to, you know, it becomes too much. Like, make up your mind. You confusing me. You confusing him. How many of y'all was confused by Liz? Or was it just me? Maybe I'm tripping and y'all see it different. If you do, let me know down below in the comments. You know, I'm open to whatever it is you have to say. So it's only been 2 weeks and you telling him to get his shit and his cat and his go. Girl, you ain't gonna make it in a relationship if that is your resolution. If you can't sit and have a real conversation, I mean, Dr. Cal told y'all last week, have a moment where nothing else matters and that you actually listen and don't say nothing. You ain't practicing that. Definitely need to do your homework. Dr. Cal told y'all to do something. You need to do it so that you can effectively communicate with one another. Honey, somebody is looking at Jamie like, oh, he would be perfect for me. Probably the girl that said she was his ex-fiance. Like, I be looking like Keith. I couldn't do Keith. I couldn't do Matt. I couldn't do Jamie. But maybe quite possibly Greg. I'm about to try these good boys, honey, because he seemed to have his ducks in a row. But he went through therapy to get there. Y'all heard that, right? He went through therapy to get there. So, I got a thing for bad boys. But I think I might try some good boys or something. Okay, so let's talk about Matt and Amber. Dear Jesus, Father God in heaven. So, you know, Amber's family has Sunday dinner at her aunt's house all the time. And so that's where they go. Honey, in the car, there was a very interesting conversation that actually didn't sit well with me either, Amber. Okay, I'm going to just say it didn't sit well with me, and I don't think Matt understood. And Amber, I really need you to communicate better. Like, you're not good at communicating your thoughts, opinions, ideas, emotions, feelings, nothing. Like, you just want to fuck because your husband is so cute. Girl, it's so much more than looks. I actually read this article that said, because I'm not watching Married at First Sight unedited, whatever it is, it doesn't get recorded, and I would like to see it, because somebody said in one of like a Newsweek little article said something about he wasn't attracted to her at first, that he thought she was too short. But that means you lied on your fucking application when you said that you would be okay with somebody short. You should have said you needed somebody that was 6 feet, at least 6 feet. Okay. Pull up. I digress. She asked him, like, tell me what your favorite movie is. And he started rattling off genres, almost all of them except for horror and thrillers and romance. Like, everything else is his favorite, okay? But when she said that Love and Basketball was her favorite, I was like, okay, girl, after my own heart, I'll fight for you. I'll fight you for it. Y'all remember that infamous scene? You made a fool of me. Tell me why. Y'all, that movie is one of my favorite movies. So then that actually bridged them into the child conversation. And so she said something about children. Now, this should have been one of the first conversations they had. Yes, he wants children, but not till about 5 to 7 to 8 years from now. Her whole mood, her whole face changed. And she did articulate herself a little bit, but not enough for me. When she said to him, you probably need somebody younger, because that would mean I'd be 35, which means she's 27. I would be 35 by the time we have a child. You probably need somebody younger. Not only that, he was saying that he was apprehensive about having children because that's somebody you have to be with forever. It's not somebody, you know, you might not have to be with them forever, but you guys have a bond forever, which is that child. And he wants to make sure it's the right person. Like my nigga. Okay, 2 things. One of which is, how you saying that to me and I'm your wife and you know I'm talking about children and I want to have children? That's number 1. And you know, she's vested in this relationship way further than he is because he has a nomadic spirit. We've already talked about that. But in the next breath, he doesn't know her. So him saying that I don't want to make the wrong choice, I don't even know if you're the right girl for me. Remember now, he don't really like her. I mean, now that I done read the Newsweek article, I be looking back like he is not exhibiting emotions of someone who wants to be with her. So they arrive and you see her twin is there and she is super excited to see her sister. Megan can't wait to sit and talk to her sister, and she's looking like, you don't seem so excited. And she wasn't. She was downtrodden, disheartened, saddened, like, fuck, I done made the wrong decision. They didn't hook me up with the wrong person. I done gave my goodness and mercy. He done stuck his hand in the cookie jar. I gave him cookies and milk. Child, I done wasted my time. That's how she feeling. And so when she finally goes and she talks to her sister, I'm thinking, being with someone so close all your life, your twin, this is when you're just gonna kind of just start blurting shit out. But I think she's a little embarrassed, so she's a little apprehensive in telling her sister about the conversation. Maybe her intuition is going off. Maybe her discernment is going off, and she knows that the nigga don't want her. Okay, listen. Maybe her intuition is going off and she know that he don't want her. Listen, we know more than what we let on. Maybe she's feeling it and maybe she's all like, I'm trying too hard and this isn't working out, and Lord have mercy, I was glad she was able to talk to her sister. But then they go inside and they have dinner with her family and things seem to lighten up a little bit. She's feeling more comfortable. But when she said, when her dad asked, how well do you think, or what's the stepmom, how well do you think you know Matt on the scale of 1 to 10? And the nigga said, and she said 2 to 3. I said, sounds about right. He said 5 to 6 because she talks a lot. Listen, all they know about each other is surface stuff. They haven't had a real intimate connection, intimate, emotional, mental connection. So things are a little off for them. They don't have the same bond that the other 3 couples have. As much as we don't want to admit it, even that old crazy Liz and Jamie have an emotional connection, more so than Matt and fucking Amber. I'm scared for her. Well, they get back home. I guess maybe it's the next day. And okay, look, I had to look at my notes, okay? We see in the cam, we see Matt at home and it's 1:08. Okay? Then we see Amber come home and it's 4:58. We see her working out at 5:48 around the house, even though they've got a little fitness center in their building. She's working out in the house at 5:48. At 7:26, she put something in the trash. There's still no Matt in any of this time frame. At 10:23, Matt is still not at home. She said that she has called him 4 times and he's not answering, and now his phone is going straight to voicemail. At 12:39, she calls her dad on the phone and she is crying. That ugly, gut-wrenching, heart-aching, made my heart hurt for her cry. I don't know who he is. I've made the wrong decision. What have I gotten myself into? He doesn't care about me. At 2 o'clock, he's still not home, and she is on the individual cam, and or personal cam, and on her phone, or whatever the hell they got him on, and she's all like, he doesn't love me. Well, of course, it's only been 14 days, but he doesn't care about me. He doesn't like me. I mean, it's a problem. Where's my husband? He ain't even have the good sense to give you a call and say, hey, yo, hoa, I'll be home later. He ain't say nothing. That breaks my heart for her. And she's crying, boo-hoo crying. And then, of course, I don't get to see the previews because I'm watching pre-recorded. But from what I gathered, the shit is finna hit the fan. I don't know what's happening next week, so I'm in the dark. Y'all got some insight? You can let me know down below in the comments. Okay, so let's take a check. Right now, at episode number 7, who do you think has the strongest possibility of actually making it and staying after the 8 weeks? I'm pulling for Deonna and Greg right now. I really am. I think that Matt and Amber are in trouble and they are both going to say no at the end of the 8 weeks. I'm not sure about Iris and Keith right now. That whole blow up and her being controlling, I'm all like, she might not have been the right fit for Keith. And then because he's so relaxed and calmed and he's really level-headed and straight laced and, you know, like cool as a cucumber. So I don't know if her being so wound up is perfect for him. And then both Jamie and Liz, they just seem like a mismatch. I'm with the mama, but I'm really not sure. So that for sure, I'm gonna probably stick with that, at least for now. Let's see about next episode. You guys tell me, what do you think about this whole episode? Let me know down below in the comments. It was a lot going on, but it was good. I'm excited. I like to see them in their everyday element. I am your girl, Talisa Rae. Thank you so much for watching my review of Married at First Sight, Season 9, Episode number 7. Where is my husband? Child, where's my husband? Anyway, if it's your first time visiting my channel, click the red subscribe button. Be a ray of sunshine, and you're already there, so you should be clicking the notification bell because you don't want to miss another Married at First Sight review. Lastly, because you like me and I'll know it's real, give me a thumbs up. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll catch you on the next video.